Hey, what's up, creative people? Today I'm showing you all my best art supplies and the one that I suggest you to try if you haven't so far. But first of all, I want to thank you all the new subscribers, and I'm introducing myself again. My name is Luigi. I'm a physicist and self-taught artist living in Munich, Germany, and I'm also known as Illustrazioni di Lut on social media channels. I want to sum up my best art supply suggestions in this video, and I'm doing it by technique. So I'm starting with pencil, graphite, sketching, purely, that is my basis, let's say. Then I will go to watercolor and then to ink. That is also one of my most used art supplies. And finally, I will talk a little bit about gouache, which I'm a newbie. So I will not have too much tested in the past to suggest you, but I will go through it as well. Finally, some generic art supplies. Let's start with some sketching tools. So my to-go art supplies when it's time to sketch, that is the basis of almost all my art, is to have a very simple pencil, HB. I use the Staedtler one. And then if I want to increase the value of my graphite sketch, I normally use a 4B or maybe a polychromos pencil, black one. This one I was using as well for the line art in the beginning of my watercolor paintings, because I was still stuck through my foundation that is manga anime style, while nowadays I like much more loose stuff. Indeed, I just tried a Yupo paper. This is a kind of synthetic paper, and you can get a very extremely loose effect. When it's time to sketch, I like a lot this lightweight paper, very smooth one. I don't know exactly the name because I got it in a flea market. It's 120 GSM, and it's great because even if you use some slightly wet techniques such as ink or brush pens, they are not bleeding through. And so I really like it. Markers, of course, they bleed through badly. I hate them. But for other art supplies, it's great. You can get some nice blending effects. This one, that my last purchase, it's a coloring brush pen by Sakura Koi. Get quickly gray shades to have a basic foundation of your shadows in the sketch. Oops, this I shouldn't show. It's figurey stuff. As I said, the basic of my sketches is normally this pencil or a mechanical pencil. I love the Graph Gear 500 I have from Pentel, because it's heavyweight on the tip, get very nice control of your sketches. I found this on looking on artists on Instagram, and I haven't regretted at all. Sometimes I also like sketching with a polychromos pencil, like sepia ones. I'm not a pencil person because I'm colorblind, and I mess up a little bit if I have to understand which color is what just by looking at the item itself. Last but not least, cannot miss this eraser here that get rid of every particles, and it's very soft and gentle also for watercolor. And it's also eternal, never-ending eraser, because you can clean it doing this thing I'm doing, and so it's forever. The only thing you need to take care is to get something to keep it closed, because otherwise it gets hard and you cannot use it anymore. I'm using, as you see, the box from my headphones. Something I also like a lot for sketches, that was like the ancestor of this coloring brush pen, is my set of Ecoline brush pens in the gray set, because they are very good also for quick shadowing. On the other side, I use them mainly for Inktober, more defined illustration. I find a good way to connect from sketching to ink is this that is a kind of ink in the form of a pen. My beloved Micron, Sakura Micron fine liners that I have in a huge variety. I mainly use the 0.3. I also have a sepia one. I have a brush one, but I don't use that much. I have a 0.03 that is the tiniest possible. I also use them mainly when I want to make an ink drawing in my, let's say, old manga style, so mainly for Inktober. If I want to go a little bit more loose, I have this Pentel Fude pen, I think is the name. It's very nice ink. In your sketches, it can be very imprecise sometimes. It's not that easy to control, like this. That's why I just bought this one from Pentel as well. It's called the Brush Sign Pen Artist, and is super extra tiny fine tip. What I really enjoyed though is sketches with this roundabout rollerball pen from Ferry Wheel Press. Ferry Wheel Press is a Canadian brand I'm collaborating with. They send me these art supplies, and I have to say that this one is really good because it never stuck, and you can get amazing effect on your drawings. Something like this you can get. Switching to ink, I suggest as well their ink that comes in this simply amazing packaging. They are all different, and they are kind of fancy ones. This is, by the way, the box of the rollerball pen. They are kind of fancy inks because they always have some sparkling effect or secondary shades. Everything is, by the way, described on the box. This one that I use in the portrait I showed before has a base light blue, a scene not applicable, shimmer pink gold, and shading high. So they're really precise in what they produce. By the way, there is a link in the description below together with all the material I'm showing, or most of them, the one I find. There is also a code for discount if you want to buy this Ferry Wheel Press ink or a pen as well. Ink painting or lettering or line art with ink is this brand that is a German one called Roher und Klingner. They are a very traditional brand, small company, but I think it's capillary distributed worldwide. Though they come in this big version, and they come in these very nice smaller versions, and the color are simply super bright, waterproof, light fast. I don't think, not 100% sure these are light fast, but they have a nice version also with some drawings on top that is light fast for sure. Of course, I also like the most famous Winsor & Newton black ink. Sketchbooks for ink, I would suggest Mixed Media Sketchbook. This one is simply amazing, but I don't know if they are still selling it because I bought it 20 years ago. It was my first sketchbook, I think 18 years ago to be precise, because I was in the high school and started this comics class. So it's a particular sketchbook because it starts with drawings from 18 years ago. And I go on to 2019. I started drawing again after a long break, and pick it up again with the intention to finish it last September with the 100 head challenge. So why I'm saying I like this so much? Because it's very robust sketchbook. The thickness of the paper is good for all techniques, including ink in the form of, let's say, watercolor painting, so ink painting as I used, so with quite a good amount of ink and water. And they have this nice zigzag thingy, so you can remove a work of yours if you particularly liked. So yeah, it's very good one. I'm going to finish it and I don't know how I should substitute it. Do you know a very good mixed media sketchbook? Let me know in the comments. Let's go through, most of you most probably are waiting for the watercolor section. Paper. Oh my god, there is a complete world here. I have to admit that I'm a bit a fetishist of paper and sketchbooks in particular, so I've tried many. What I can really suggest if you are on a budget is to get the 100% cotton watercolor paper from Baohong. It's a Chinese brand. You can find it on almost everywhere, I think, nowadays. Previously was only on AliExpress. It comes in the form of sketchbooks or in the form of pad like this. They are all glued. I have to say they are very hard to remove it for what I've tried. So be aware that you can destroy your artwork while you are trying to remove the paper. The only problem with this is I would use it mostly for sketches and studies. Why? Because it tends to desaturate a lot my colors. That's my experience. In terms of good watercolor paper, then we go to the Canson Heritage. There are some voices that they are not producing anymore. I've tried the hot press and the cold press one. I like both. I have also, of course, Arch hot press. It's my very first cotton paper and I was amazed. But if I have to choose only one, is my nearest experience with watercolor paper, that is Fabriano Artistico. So I roasted Fabriano in my previous video about art supplies I regret buying, but I have to say that on the other side, this watercolor paper is my favorite. I had made so far 3 artwork with this and all the 3 of them are hanged up on a wall. So it's not that easy that this is happening. 2 are in front of me and 1 is a commission. I'll show you. And this is a portrait, self-portrait. And many artists suggest to use also Fabriano Artistico Extra White. I haven't tried, so I cannot. By the way, I keep it inside a plastic foil because this protects it a bit from humidity. Speaking about paper, it's natural to switch to sketchbooks. I choose only 1 or 2 of them. Although I've tried many because I'm mainly focusing on sketchbook drawing lately and I have many. I've tried Baohong as well and Etcher as well and some second-hand shop ones. But my favorites are all in all Hahnemühle pulp paper and cotton paper, even better. They are quite pricey, particularly the cotton paper one, but my gosh, quality is so high. It's like painting on, I cannot show this stuff. It's like painting on high quality paper. I really love it. And if you are on a budget, the pulp paper is also very good. Why I like this sketchbook so much? Because it's simply robust and it's perfect for traveling. This elastic is extra tight and the paper is good. The quality is great. Of course, you cannot achieve what you achieve with the cotton paper here, but for sketching and I guess traveling and mixed media, this is also fantastic. So I actually started using this as a travel sketchbook. There is also a sketchbook tour in the channel about this. And as you can see, I use gouache as well. Okay, let's go to brushes. This video is gonna be long. Brushes, I have several brands and I have to choose ones. I would choose definitely this brush here because it's complete. You can do both large or let's say mid-large washes, and with the fine tip you can get also very fine details. Renesans Polska is a Polish brand of art supplies. It's my to-go brush when I want to use only one brush. From Renesans Polska, I really like this flat brush here to make like a foundation or a uniformity wet in wet. The brushes I'm suggesting to use to my students in my watercolor class, if you are on a budget, this Van Gogh is a set of 3 brushes which I'm using as well during my workshops. I'm using this since 5 years maybe, and they are still working pretty well. If I need to go also on a budget, I would get the Casaneo brush ones from Da Vinci, or I love these brushes as well. They are natural full brush, natural hair, and they are from Bosner. They hold quite a big amount of water, and the price is relatively cheap for the quality of the brush. Well, Bosner is a local art supply, so you can find in Germany, Netherlands, Switzerland, as far as I know. And this other brush is my liner brush when I need to do highlights with gouache. And in terms of white gouache, I always use this Schminke opaque white. Coming to palette, I have a porcelain palette and so on, but when it comes to travel, I get this palette because you can get up to 14 godet and or pens, and you can also put a travel brush inside and this nice tiny spray. And I have also the bigger version, also from Bosner. And here I set up all my watercolors that are mainly from White Nights. Indeed, these are my favorite watercolors. When it comes to taping, I only use this one that is 2 centimeter paper tape. It is easy to remove and you can break it easily. I don't use this too thin for me. Depends also on the size of your artwork, of course. I'm not going more than A3, very rarely A3. What we have here, Renaissance watercolors, White Nights watercolors. I have these are also the watercolors I suggest to buy to my students because they are around about €2 per tube, so the price is not that much higher than a good student grade watercolor series, but the quality is professional quality, so I really love them. And when it comes to Payne's Gray with bluish, I have the Schminke one. So gouache, don't trust me too much because I haven't tried that much with gouache. It's like 1 year I'm working with it. First I bought the set from Royal Talents. It's like 10 tubes. So day 10 of my 100 heads challenge was with this gouache. Of course, was more in a sketching quick way. Problem I get sometimes with gouache is that I reactivate them. That's why I wanted to give it a try to acrylic gouache, and so I tried the Liquitex one. In the beginning, when you open and you remove the lid, you lose a lot of color that cannot be reactivated because of the quality of the acrylic gouache. And this annoyed me a bit, but on the other side, they are very highly pigmented, so you can reach very nice contrast in your painting. This is with this acrylic gouache. This set of etcher, they are specifically thought for gouache. They are very soft. I think you can work also with watercolor with them. A good synthetic watercolor brush would work as well. This is my to-go brushes when I'm going to paint with gouache. Yeah. Finally, I want to dedicate a small chapter about travel set. All these things that you need when you're traveling. I'm a fan of art supplies also for traveling because I think they are very nice to use when you are on a trip and to collect your memories. I think this tiny palette is very light, and this is essential for me in the travel set. This one I got from Timo. Also hold it directly to the sketchbook of yours. Of course, it cannot hold a lot of color, so it's good only for small sketches. I have as well a porcelain one for traveling, also by Etcher. This is design porcelain palette, but I have to say that the problem with this is that it's too heavy. That means I'm not using that much because I don't want to have too much weight when I go like on the lake or I'm traveling. For sure, a brush I would use when I am on travel is this Pentel brush. This is the smallest version. I bought it like this because I thought it was fitting in the palette, but it's slightly longer, so I couldn't use it. Otherwise, there is a bigger one that I would suggest to buy. The tip is good, and it's soft enough to work with watercolor. This is what most of artists suggest for travel brushes. As I said, also this small tin palette because it's light as well, not as light as the Timo ones, but light as well. And here I can fit this travel brush and this. And finally, when I'm traveling, I like to keep all my items organized, like brushes and fine liners and so on. And this one I got on Amazon is perfect for this. Can flip this to protect a little bit the tip of the brushes, and then roll it a little bit like this from Etcher. So this was all for the art supplies I love and I enjoy and I suggest you to buy. But if you want to know which art supplies I regret buying, then I for sure invite you to have a look to this video here, because I will tell you exactly what you should not buy. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't so far. This helps me a lot, and I thank you very much for watching anyway, and I see you in the next video. Bye guys!